today's session, I would like to discuss about AWS one more service that is a simple queue service. Okay, SQS. So let us look at the Amazon simple queue service with Spring Boot. Okay, basically you may ask one question like what is SQS? What is this simple queue service? So if that is the question, definitely basically like some other messaging queue services, it is also a distributed messaging queuing service which supports programmatically. I mean programmatically you can send the messages and you can as well as receive the messages via web services itself. So okay, so and moreover this AWS SQS is similar to other messaging services, as I said, like ActiveMQ we have, RabbitMQ we have, where we can use to publish and subscribe the event over the queue itself. In the same manner here also we can play with the same with respect to AWS SQS service also. Okay, so to do this, first let's create one queue itself, because I just wanted to show you how exactly it works, what is the basic architecture it follows, that I wanted to show you. For that, just come to here. So this is my AWS account, and here if you type this simple queue service, see here like this, if you type it, it will come to here. If you scroll down, see here how it works. Amazon SQS, I mean, producers usually producing the messages, and once those messages will be coming to like what I mean, those messages will be stored to like what Amazon SQS service. So from here, from the Amazon SQS, all those messages are going to be transferred to SQS queue itself. So once the messages are available in the SQS queue, okay, consumers can consume the messages from the queue itself. Okay, so this is how exactly it will work. So that is why we need SQS queue itself. First, before we can play with this SQS service, first we have to create the SQS queue itself. So to do this, here one option is there. Just click on the create queue, and moreover here what type of queue you wanted to create, whether it is a standard queue or FIFO queue. So for now I am going to create the standard queue. So the basic difference in between standard queue and FIFO queue is, in case of standard, multiple infinite transaction you can make it, and moreover duplicates. I mean, if our frequent operation, if the order of the message is important, then you should use FIFO type. If the order of the message doesn't matter for us, okay, and high throughput, if it is more important for that. High throughput means what? The more number of transactions within a second, and n number of transactions. If you really wanted to perform, then I can go for what, standard. Otherwise, if the message ordering is very important and less throughput, then we should go for what, FIFO itself. For now I am just choosing the standard, and the queue name is SQS2. Okay, so just don't touch any other settings, keep it like that. Just give the queue name and then click on the create queue itself. So then queue gets created itself. So once this queue gets created, you will get this URL. Okay, just copy that URL and paste it somewhere in the notepad. Okay, like this. So this is my endpoint URL itself. Okay, and moreover, programmatically to connect with this SQS service, we need a access key and we need a secret access key. If you really follow my videos, while we were working with the AWS DynamoDB, that time also we used to get the access key and then secret access key. Programmatically we can connect with the DynamoDB by using this access key and then secret access key by creating the IAM user and then user group itself. So here also we need a IAM user group and then IAM user, so that we'll get the access key and then secret access key. Same steps follow here also. For that, what I am doing, come back to here, go to the services, go to the IAM section. Okay, and here we'll try to like what, create the user group and then user. Already we have some user groups are there. What I am doing, just let me delete this. And then freshly I wanted to show you how to create the user group, how can I assign the user to that particular user group, what kind of permissions are required. These things again I wanted to show you. If you really not aware, you can cross check me in my previous DynamoDB video also. Okay, so now we don't have any user group, we don't have any user. First let me create user group, create the group. Here group name is SQS2 group. Okay, any name you can use SQS2 group, and here there is no user right now. Okay, to attach the user to this particular group. Okay, so yeah, what kind of permissions you need? Administrator access I am giving, and along with that EC2 full access also you try to give. Okay, okay, 1 second. Administrator access I gave, and then EC2 access also I wanted to provide. 1 second, 1 second. Here EC2 full access. No, I'm not seeing. Okay. AWS EC2. Why the filters are not working properly? Okay. We need that particular EC2. Yeah, here it is there now. When you go to like what second page, here Amazon. Okay, like this we have to serve. Okay, Amazon EC2 full access. Just add these two services. I mean two what we can policies to this particular user group, and my user group is SQS2 group, and click on the create group. So once it is done, SQS2 group user group created, and coming to like what users, click on the add user, give the SQS2 is my username, click on the next, and try to assign this user whatever you are going to create, just like this. Click on this. Okay, fine. Click on the next, and that's it, right? Click on the create user. So user also created, and once user gets created, we need that access key and then secret access key, right? Click on this user, go to the security credentials, and here access key is there na, create access key. Click on this use case command line interface, select that radio button, check in this acknowledge, and click on the create access key, so that you will get the access key. Okay, copy that, and secret access key also I am trying to copy this and then keep it in somewhere notepad. Okay, then while we are doing the Spring Boot application, we will utilize this access key and as well as what secret access key. So it's done. So AWS configuration is totally done. We have created one queue, and we have created user group, we have created all these things. I am done with this. Okay, so now what I am doing, okay, SQS2 is the user group is the SQS2 itself, and this is my queue details. I mean, what is your queue name? Here also queue name is SQS2 only, and we already copied this URL itself. Okay, now I wanted to show you the backend project. For this, let me with respect to versions, take care, otherwise you will get the issues. I will show you Spring Boot SQS demo, Java version 8 I am using, and everything is fine. Click on the next. Only we are able to add this Spring Boot version. Just select 2.7.13. We'll see if it is not coming. We'll use the exact versions. I am just selecting. I mean, we are getting the issues with respect to latest version, so that I need to cross check and then I will update you once I got the clarity. As of now, just select 2.7.13. Now only add the Spring Web dependency. Click on the finish, and along with these dependencies we need the Spring Cloud AWS related dependencies we required, and those dependencies I'll tell you. Okay, what dependencies, what care you have to you should take care in the pom.xml file, that I will show you. Okay, if here we are getting the error in the pom.xml file, the parent, oh, why we are getting the parent issue? Not a problem. Let me at least run as. Okay, it's not run as. Go to the maven, just try to update the project. If any of these kind of issues are there, it will be overcome. Yeah, okay, so the error is gone, but now other dependencies we required. But before that, in the properties, I would like to like what mention the Spring Cloud version. Okay, I would like to like what mention the Spring Cloud version itself. Okay, what is that cloud version? I'll tell you. What is that cloud version? I would like to tell you. Spring hyphen, yeah, Spring hyphen cloud dot, okay, version. Okay, all right. And here it is. I don't think so like whether it will work with the 2.7.13 or not. I mean, uh, we have something like 1 second. I mean, different cloud versions are there. What is that cloud version you need to mention is something like uh, somewhere it was there. Okay, hoxton.sr6. Let me save this one you have to mention, and the cloud version and the dependencies, what dependencies we require, that I will tell you. AWS core dependency, AWS messaging dependency we require. For this what I am doing, dependency. Okay, so I think somewhere it was there, those dependencies. Okay, it's not a problem. I think group ID, artifact ID, group ID, artifact ID, and here org dot spring framework dot, okay, cloud, and here artifact ID is spring hyphen cloud hyphen starter starter hyphen AWS. This is the AWS core dependency. Okay, and moreover dependency management also we require. uh, I think somewhere I have this. Okay, let me open this. Yeah, I just copied here itself, huh? Okay, yeah, these are the dependencies. I actually copied from somewhere. I kept it here itself. Okay, so these two dependencies we required. Let me copy this, come to here, and yeah, control V. And moreover dependency management, okay, where I used to like what mention, this Spring Cloud version, and this Spring Cloud version you already mentioned host and dot something XR6. Okay, so that's why this dependency management also I'll take. Okay, no problem. I can I'll share the Git link also in the video description. From there you can take it. Okay, don't take uh, any pressure. Let me save this. Once the pom.xml file with the respective dependencies. So ultimately what I wanted to tell you here, since it is related, these dependencies are related with the Spring Cloud, we have to like what mention the Spring Cloud version, okay, based on your Spring Boot parent version, and the dependencies is AWS core dependency and AWS messaging, this stuff. Okay, that is only thing you have to take care in the pom.xml file. Once these changes are done, what you have to do is, let me try to update the project so that the changes will be affected. So maven update the project, force update, click on the OK, that's it. So now what we have to do is, already we have taken the secret access key, and then queue also you took, right? And these things you have to configure in the SRC main resources. For this, let me try to like what go to the other file and the general application dot yml file, application dot yml file. So already I have mentioned this. So let me copy this. 1 second. Control C. Okay, let me Control C. Don't take any time. Control V, and AP South -1. This is my region. If you click on this, yeah, here Mumbai, the region is AP-South -1. That only I copied and then I keep it here. And the access key whatever you copied just now, yeah, Control C. Okay, and keep it here, and then secret access key, secret key is something like secret key is what? Okay, here only it was there, right? Yeah, this one, secret access key. Control C, come back to our Eclipse, paste it. Endpoint, so whenever you created the queue, that endpoint URI is going to be created. What is that? I copied from here only. Control C and then control. These things you have to configure in the application.yml file, aml file itself. Okay, so access key, secret key, endpoint URI itself. So once it is done, okay, what is this error in the pom.xml file? Parent. Okay, okay, I think what is the parent version? This is very very important. I mean, if the versions are not correctly, if you are not giving, it is giving me the issue. So let me try with the 2.3.1 release. Let me save this. Okay, so the errors are gone. Okay, so once the errors are gone, let me try to like what update the project once again. Force update, click on the okay. So now my parent version is 2.3.1, my Spring Cloud version is Hoxton SR6, and AWS core dependency, AWS messaging, and then web dependency to create the REST URLs itself. Okay, SRC main resources, application.yml file is fine. Under SRC main Java, I am going to create one more package, com.example. Okay, config, to keep the configuration file. Okay, under this new class AWS, okay, SQS config. So always our configuration class must be annotated with at the rate of configuration. Come on please, at the rate of configuration. Oh my god, what is this? Why it is not coming? Did I add Spring Web dependency inside my pom.xml file? Yeah, it was there already. Spring Boot starter web. Then why it is not coming? Anything wrong in the okay, I think let me delete this package. Continue. Under src main Java new, define the package com.example.config. Okay, I think wrongly I placed. Okay, new, take the class AWS SQS config. So and here on top of this class configuration, yeah, wrongly I misplaced, okay, that information. So right, so now on top of this, in the configuration class, how exactly we need a what we call, we need one object. What is that object? Queuing, I think we need one object. What is that? Queue messaging template object. So that's why we need to like what define one method that must be annotated with at the rate of bean, so that we can use this particular queue messaging template object inside the controller class, REST controller class itself. That is the and moreover, whatever you configured in the application.yml file, that means this access key, secret access key, endpoint URL, all these things, try to like what fetch those details to here itself. How can we fetch those details? So define like this private string region. On top of this, try to like what use at the rate of value. Okay, on top of this give the double quotes, expression is dollar symbol, open curly, closed curly, and inside this what we have to give, cloud dot aws dot region dot static. That's it. See here, if you are observing, cloud dot aws dot region dot static. So what is the value? AP south 1 itself. So like that, for other properties like access key and then secret key also, you try to like what do it the same thing. Control C 3 times, I will paste it, and instead of region, aws access key and cloud dot aws dot credentials dot secret key itself, secret hyphen key. with the same names I configured in the YML file. If you are observing access hyphen key, secret hyphen key, like that only, those names only we have to give here itself. Okay, there you are giving some other, here you are giving some other. If it is not matched, it won't get it. You can't get those values into here itself. And here also AWS secret key. Okay, and value cloud dot AWS dot credentials dot credentials dot okay, credentials dot secret hyphen key. Secret hyphen key is over, right? I think access hyphen key, access hyphen key, sorry, this is only secret hyphen key, and here it is access hyphen key itself. That's it. Okay, so that all these things are going to be coming itself. As we discussed, we need one method. That method must be annotated with @bean, and that method is returning queue messaging template object. Okay, what is that? Queue messaging template object. And define, let me maximize this queue messaging template object. Define any method queue messaging template. Okay, and here we have to return that queue messaging object. Okay, return, okay, new queue messaging template is expecting Amazon SQS async object. So that's why to get that object, we will try to like what define one more method, Amazon any method you can, Amazon SQS async method. Let me define this method, create method, instead of make it as a public, and here we are supposed to like what return the object. What object we require? Amazon SQS async object ultimately. So to do this, okay, Amazon SQS, okay, async, okay, Amazon async, I think client builder is there, one more, yeah, client builder dot, on top of this you call the standard method. On top of this you have to like what mention with region. So region, how you can mention, already that region got stored in this property region itself. So how we will get it, regions dot ap south 1, this one. And after that with credentials you have to like what mention, with credentials you have to like what mention. If you are observing Spring Boot DynamoDB, I mean AWS DynamoDB, the same kind of same kind of coding I implemented there itself. I mean little changes, but almost the same. Okay, new AWS static builder, new AWS static credentials provider is expecting again AWS credentials object. And for that I think that was an interface, AWS credentials provider. For that, what is the implementation class? Basic AWS credentials, which is expecting AWS access key and AWS secret key, and those things only here, AWS access key and then AWS secret key you mentioned. At last, on top of this, if you are calling build method, that's it. So that it returns the Amazon SQS async client builder object. So that object you are passing as an argument to this queue messaging template object. So ultimately, when you auto-wire this queue messaging template, they will get queue messaging template object. With that object, you are able to publish the messages into the queue, and you are able to subscribe also, of course by using some other annotation, but this is the basic information. And this is I am going to like put annotated with @bean and as well as what primary. We save this. Okay, so these two things you have to understand. So this is all about what a configuration class. Once configuration class is over, you can okay, let me try to refresh. Yeah, so this is the main application. If you want, you can define one more package. Under that you can define one more controller class. Otherwise you can make this one only as a I mean, what we call this one only. Otherwise, okay, let me try to like what create the controller class in separate package com dot example dot controller, because our main class is available inside the main package, that is com dot example. All these are the sub packages, so that auto scanning is happening. Let me try to refresh under controller. Okay, new SQS controller. I'll give like this SQS controller. This SQS controller class must be annotated with a REST controller annotation. On top of this REST controller annotation, okay, we have to define. So I already told you, right? We have to auto-write that queue messaging template object, right? So private queue messaging template, okay, queue messaging template. So this one we have to like what auto-write at the rate of auto-write. So then with that object you can call the predefined methods to publish the messages. So to do this, we need that queue endpoint URI. So for this, define public private string endpoint. Okay, on top, how we can get that? Because we already configured in the application.yml file. So how we can get it that into this particular variable at the rate of value. Okay, this is the basic Spring Boot fundamentals. Okay, dollar here, close this, and in between cloud dot aws dot end hyphen point dot uri. Let me save this. That's it. So once that will be coming here, I mean you can use this. Right now endpoint is having that particular value, whatever you configured in the application YAML file. Once it is done, we are going to define the handler method. Of course, get mapping. Okay, anything you can give, but I wanted to like what send the messages, so that is the reason in the URI itself I am using this message. So that message I can read by using at path variable. Okay, so public void send message to queue. Okay, whatever the messages we are sending, those messages first will be go to the SQS server, and from there it will be transferred to the queue itself. So whatever the queue, we have already created one queue itself with the name of SQS2. So that URL only, that endpoint URI only we are using, we configured here. So that means whatever the messages along with respect to this web service you are sending, those messages will be transferred to that particular queue only. That is what you need to understand. Okay, send message to queue, right? So how can I read this? How can I read at the rate of path variable string any variable message? So that information you are going to like what publish. So with respect to which object, tell me? Queue messaging template dot send, and that send endpoint here, I mean to that particular queue endpoint. What is the message? That message you can build message builder dot message builder dot with payload, and payload is available inside the message that is coming from the REST URI. Anything wrong? I think we should use dot build. Okay, that's it. Let me save this. Okay, so in this way I am able to like what do this. Okay, so now what I have to do is, let me try to like what run this application, so that you can understand whether really are we able to publish the messages into the queue or not. So to do this, it is by default running on port number 8080 Spring Boot app. I think nothing, there is no error. If even, I mean with respect to form.xml file also dependencies version we are correct only, I think. Okay, it started to run. Just open this localhost 8080, okay, slash send slash message, any message. I am providing Java jungle, so the site can't be reached. Okay, so what is this error? I mean, let me open the console. We are getting the error. Okay, not a problem. Bean name, invocation of init method. Okay, 1 second. Bean factory issue. Why we are getting this issue? Error creating bean with. Some internal issues are coming. No valid instance ID defined. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think with respect to bean creation, bean instantiation exception we are getting. Okay, but 1 second. Resource issue. No valid instance ID defined. Okay. Okay, 1 second. What we have to do is just try to exclude one class, context stack auto configuration dot class. Okay. Let me save this. Even in my research, I mean, while I'm practicing also, I thought I remember, I'm not sure, I remember when I exclude this, it is coming, we will see. It got started previously also, it fine. Yeah, so whenever you exclude this class, okay, it started to work. I don't know why it is uh, asking to exclude this particular class. There might be some version issues. Okay, so if anybody is aware, you just try to comment. But whenever you are excluding this class in your boot class, so then it got started. So that means you passed this Java jungle and SQS demo. All these messages right now are going to be stored in the queue only. So see here, this is my queue itself, SQS2. Right now, to see those messages, click on the uh, where we have to send and receive messages, and here poll for messages, click on this. See here, when you clicked on this Java jungle, this is the first one which you shared. When you second SQS demo, so like this, all these messages are available inside this particular queue only until someone consumed. Okay, so whenever someone consumed, these messages will be deleted from this particular queue itself. So I'll show you how to consume also. Again, go to the controller class, because I wanted to consume it, and then I wanted to show you in the logger itself. So that's why I am creating the one logger object from the SLF4J logger object here itself, logger factory. Otherwise I will control X, control S. So from where, okay, in the main application only. Okay, this is main application, and here only I will try to logger equal to logger factory dot get logger, and the class name is spring boot, no sorry, spring boot SQS demo application dot class. All right, so here, okay, let me maximize this. Control Shift O is for importing from the SLF4J by default. And once the logger is ready, and with that logger, okay, we try to we need to define one method, public void load message from SQS queue. Any message, any name you can use, string message you are getting, and those messages you try to print in the logger by using logger.info. Okay, that's it, right? So message I wanted to print, and this particular method must be annotated with SQS listener. Okay, SQS listener, whenever someone, so what we call, whenever someone publish, whoever listening, and those we are able to get it from those queue itself. Who is listening, okay, So if someone published the message into the queue, whoever listening this queue, they are able to like what get those messages. So that is the point. Okay, so the same concept even in any other messaging queue services also the same concept. And what we have to give here SQS2, this is the queue name. So this particular method is listening that particular queue itself, so that if anyone okay, if anyone what we call submit those messages, okay, publish those messages into that queue, since we are listening, we are able to like what log it. So right now how many messages are available in my queue? Two messages are there, right? If I currently if I stop it and then rerun the application, so those two messages will be pulled from there and we can see in that log itself. See here I stop this and then run as Spring Boot app. If you observe the console in the logger, you can observe those two messages, I guess. Yeah, you see Java Jungle and then SQS demo. So those two messages we are able to get it in the logger, and those messages are coming from the queue itself, since we are listening by using that particular @ of SQS listener, and there we are giving the queue name also. And moreover, once these messages are, I mean, since we are consuming, we are able to get it. Once the consumption, I mean, once you consume and those messages are not available there itself, if you refresh, see here messages are available 0 itself. So in this way you can work with AWS Amazon simple queue service itself. Okay, so I hope you understand how to publish and how the messages will be go to the first SQS, and from there it will be transferred to the queue, and from queue how we can consume and how we can log it, and once we consume those messages will be deleted from the queue itself. All these are very important. Programmatically the main concept is our configuration class, okay, and after that controller class and the main class just to log it. So this is what you need to understand. I'll try to like what share the code in the video description, in the git link. You please try to like what access. Okay, so that is all about my today's session with respect to AWS SQS service. If any doubts while you are practicing, please feel free to post in the comment section. Okay, please try to like my video, okay, subscribe my channel, share these sessions to the needy people. Okay, thank you.